One of the better country acts, in my opinion. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Riot by Rascal Flatts. This is a donation reward for Smurf, so thank you Smurf for your continued donations. And yeah, so Riot is a song by this band I've never heard. And I've heard a couple Rascal Flatts songs here and there. The most notable obviously being Life is a Highway. Like that came out with the release of Disney's Cars, and it's, in my opinion, not as good as the original. Because for those who don't know, it's not the original, it's a cover. The original has a lot more grit and like personality to it, while in my opinion, Rascal Flatts version tends to be more, you know, poppy, for lack of a better word. You know what I mean, where it's just it's more mainstream. It's the kind of it's the kind of country music that you would hear in a movie like this. The original is not, because it's, again, if for lack of a better word, sounds dirty, which with the lyrics of the song I feel fit better. It sounds like less put together, and that is, it just makes more sense and works better for the song itself, in my opinion. But getting back to the topic at hand, I never listened to a lot of Rascal Flatts. I've only heard like a few songs here and there, because I'm not big into country music, generally speaking. Even when it's more mainstream country like this, it's not just, it's typically not my type of genre. I tend to be more into rock and metal and, that kind of stuff, typically. And there's always exceptions out there. Like, I love Garth Brooks, for example. Garth Brooks is absolutely my favorite country artist. Thunder Rolls alone is my favorite country song. But I also like Friends in Low Places and so on and so forth. I've always loved Garth Brooks. But that's an exception, not the rule. I love Dolly Parton. That's an exception, not the rule. Generally speaking, I don't typically like country music. It's just not my thing. And that's fine. Everyone has their own, tastes when it comes to music. It's all subjective. And considering how many different genres and subgenres there are these days, there's very much no wrong answer for whatever kind of music you like to listen to. But I like a little bit of everything sometimes, and so this is going to be interesting to check out. And hopefully I end up liking this song. Rascal Flatts, like I said in the cold open, is one of the better country acts in my opinion. There, and a lot of my, I don't want to say dislike, because that's not quite it. A lot of my disinterest is a better word for country music comes a lot with the lyrics. Like the stuff that a lot of country music usually talks about, like trucks and drinking beer and stuff like that. It's just like I don't want to listen to music about that kind of stuff. It doesn't interest me. It's not something that I am interested in hearing from music lyrically. And so that's why I like the likes of Garth Brooks and Rascal Flatts, because that's not the kind of stuff they tend to talk about most of the time. Like, going back to the Thunder Rolls, like, that song is about cheating. That song is about, like, a partner, like, realizing that their partner is cheating on them. And then you have Friends in Low Places, which is not about that typical country schlock either. But it's like Rascal Flats tends to, again, be more poppy and mainstream, so they don't touch on that stuff usually. And it's like, you're never gonna hear me listening to the likes of like Trace Adkins or whatnot. Like I wouldn't do that because that's the typical country schlock. But there are some artists here and there who I absolutely would listen to, like Shania Twain, for example. I absolutely love Shania Twain. And then you have there's another female country artist who I can't think of the name of right now. Trisha Yearwood. I like Trisha Yearwood as well. And it's just like, that's my kind of like country music where it's not super stereotypical, for lack of a better word. And so a song like this, a song that's called Riot, gets me interested because is this just talking about riots? Or is it talking a lot about like starting a riot for some reason? I'm not like talking necessarily like rioting in the streets and political riots and stuff like that. Riots take obviously many forms, but like rioting in like excitement or like fandom, like you're rioting along to music you like, could be it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what this is going to be about. It might be about like more like political rioting and everything. It's possible, but I don't know. I don't know. Um, I guess the only way to really find out is to check it out, though, to give it a listen and a watch. And just like with all other music videos we've been doing lately, I'm going to be judging this on both the song itself, lyrically, and just how it sounds, as well as the video. There's going to kind of be those two sides to it, the song and the video. And a lot of the videos we've listened or we've watched lately for this, like with Teddy Swims and whatnot, there's not much to the videos. But Rascal Flatts tends to be more theatrical, I guess is a way to put it. So they're probably going to have a little bit more going on to their video than Teddy Swims tends to. But we'll see for sure, so let's get this going and see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, when you look at the lyrics of this song, it is a very standard, stereotypical love song. With the point of view character, the singer pleading that his girl, whether partner, girlfriend, wife, whatever, not leave him because like it would be like tantamount to him starting a riot over not wanting to be without her and everything. It's, you know, very standard love song schlock where it's like, I love you so much that I can't imagine life without you. I would like start a riot for you and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. And that's basically everything the song is about. It's not deep. Um, and there's nothing inherently wrong with like very shallow love songs and everything. Simplistic love songs like work, but this isn't the kind of music, lyrically and auditorily speaking, I would tend to gravitate towards. Its country pop sound is very standard. I do like the drum work in it, specifically like at the points where it's like every like line there's a drum beat at, like matching in rhythm with a couple words he says. Um and obviously Gary's voice is great. He has a really good voice. He's a good singer. But it's like it's so bland to me. The kind of love songs I tend to like are ones that are more unique and interesting, whether lyrically or just in terms of their sound, or even ones that are just, um, very kind of self-referential. Like they're one of my favorite love songs is actually a medley of love songs that are all like basically it's a medley of famous love songs as covered by Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman from Moulin Rouge. The Elephant Love medley is one of my favorite love songs because it's unique, it's interesting, it's fun. It combines these different famous love songs, like from like Kiss and whatnot. I believe David Bowie is in there, Elton John. It combines these famous love songs and does it in a very unique tone and style. Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman singing it and really adding some extra unique oomph to it that makes it stand out. It's not even just a medley of covering the songs, it's done in a different way than the songs normally are. They sound different in this medley because it needs to have a connecting sound to it. And I think it works exceptionally well. See, that's the kind and funny enough, a lot of the love songs in it are some of my favorite love songs too. Like Your Song by Elton John. It does not sound like any other love song that you hear out there. Or I Was Made for Loving You and stuff like that. I like the ones that sound different. This doesn't. And again, lyrically, it's very generic, very bland, doesn't really do anything. It's not bad, and I want to make that clear. It's not bad, it's not offensive, it's not weird. There are some love songs out there that are kind of creepy, let's be honest. And this is not anything like that. It's not bad. It's just so by the numbers that it doesn't really add anything. It doesn't have its own personality. The only unique thing about the entire song is just that it's Gary's voice. And he has a recognizable sound to his voice. Also, speaking of, by the way, did you know Rascal Flatts broke up? Apparently they broke up like 3 years ago, 2022. And Gary is now doing solo work. I had no idea. I just did not know. They were actually going to do a farewell tour in 2020, but it got canceled because of COVID and everything. And then it's like a couple years later, like they just ended up breaking up. Because I mean, they were going to, you know, have a farewell tour anyway, so I wonder if it's just they wanted to explore new things. They felt like they did everything they could do with Rascal Flatts. I don't know. But I just found that out when looking stuff up after the reaction here. Um, let's talk about the music video. The music video is the most interesting part here. It's much more interesting than the actual song. The music video paints this story as being told through the eyes of this boxer. He's a boxer who, has a little bit of a hot head to him, it seems, but adores his, again, partner, wife, girlfriend. It's never made entirely clear. He adores her. She's the one thing he has in his life that is, like, just purely good. And we see kind of the shift between showcasing their love as told through, sex and making out and whatnot, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And it contrasts that with showing him going through this boxing match and being, let's be honest, wrecked. Until at the end, it kind of like comes to a head when at the end of the boxing match, like as he's fading out, she comes to, she actually comes to the match, and that encourages him to get up and keep going. Because she's the one thing that can do that for him. And so it's like, it's cute. It's a cute visual idea to put there. And I tend to enjoy boxing. Like, I mean, there's been a lot of great matches throughout, like, history with boxing. I think of the likes of Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, obviously Muhammad Ali. It's like, yeah, boxing is really, really cool. I tend to enjoy combat sports more than, like, team sports, though, to be fair. But it's like, I get the visual kind of idea they were going with like the boxing kind of representing how strongly he wants her to stay with him and everything, how it's like a fight up for her to not leave and everything. There's definitely metaphor in there. I'm not always the great at expressing and explaining it, but it wasn't like anything absolutely special. I've seen better music videos, but it did what it set out to do. It got the point across really well. Even if a lot of it was, pretty standard. Like, even like with the band standing in the middle of the boxing ring as well during some shots, it's like, oh yeah, that's very basic music video schlock. Like, you have to have that in there. It wouldn't work otherwise. Right? That's that's the kind of shit they say, at least. But yeah, it was good. Wasn't anything great. Wasn't anything special. It was just good. Definitely wasn't bad. I want to, again, make that clear. Was not bad. Just didn't really impress me. Like, if I were to give it, like, I guess a ranking out of 10, 6.5 maybe, which is good. It's definitely in the positive. But it's like, it doesn't do anything, like, that investing or that interesting. Again, with the song, the lyrics, the sound, or the visuals of the video itself. Nothing about it is bad, but nothing about it, like, really stands out as anything great either. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But it's just, I feel like it could be better. I feel like it could be more interesting. And it's just like their cover of Life is a Highway. It's very mainstream. It's very safe. There's nothing, like, bad about it. But the original by Tom Cochran is just leagues and leagues better. because it has more personality. It feels more risky. And again, more gritty and dirty and rough. And with the lyrics of the song, that makes more sense. But like you even see kind of that, again, for lack of a better way to put it, cleanliness in this video. Like amongst like the roughness that they're trying to portray with the boxing match, you see this perfectly um makeuped and hairstyled woman come in, and it's just like it's so unnaturally perfect. Her hair, her makeup, everything about it. And it's like you even see her like laying in bed, like in full makeup, full hair done. And it's just like, no. She would not look like that laying in bed ready to have sex. But it's like they do that. They do that for movies, they do that for TV shows, they do that for music videos. They do that because they think that, and this is more for women than men. Like they don't really do this for men as much, but they do it for women, that there's this certain image they have to uphold, and they have to make women look like as perfect as possible at all times, even in moments and situations that it doesn't really make sense in. Like it's kind of shown that she's like rushing to get to the boxing ring to support him and everything, and that she was like, you know, kind of like getting there last minute and everything. She wasn't doing her hair. She wouldn't be doing all that makeup. If she was really in a rush to get there and was really running behind and everything, she would be a lot more disheveled. Coming from outside alone, the wind would have definitely messed up her perfect hair. At least a little bit. And her makeup would not be that perfect. It's just like, no. But overall, that's just something I tend to expect from a lot of this stuff. I don't expect realism with movies, shows, or music videos in that regard, unless it's trying to be realistic. But for the time being, yeah, it's a harmless song, a harmless video. Doesn't do anything wrong, but just doesn't do anything that great. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you to Smurf for donating once again. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.